Katie, how lovely to see you again. And here we are, only weeks away from Fashanne 2021. First of all, I want to ask you, how did you get into the fashion industry?
Well, I always loved fashion. I absolutely loved it as a kid. And my mum said I had very curious looks. And I loved exploring colour and print. And every time we went to Wales, I would buy a Welsh hat and buy it as a child and never take it off. So I always had this love for putting different things together. And then I started stalking a man. This is when I was about 17, 18. Started stalking this man called Wayne Hemingway, who had a company called Red or Dead. And I loved Red or Dead. I loved everything about it. And so I went to his offices in London. I stood outside, waited for him to come out and said, I really, really want to work for you, for Red or Dead. And he said, everyone does. And he said, well, if you've got an idea, because I'm working on this project called Mad in England, and if you have an idea for this project, then come back with it. Otherwise, do one. So off I went and didn't really know what my idea was. And I went to Oxford Street and there was a man with a placard. And his name was Stanley Green, and his placard said, less passion for less protein, less fish, chips and peas, and you must be a virgin on your wedding night. I thought, he's quite crazy. So I took some photographs of him, put them into Boots £10 fast processing service, went back to Wembley and said, I've got an idea for the Mad in England section. And he said, you better come in. Also, I suppose going back a bit, I had done a general art and design course at our local art school institute when I was 16, and then I'd gone after my working with Wayne, I went to Liverpool School of Art and I studied fine art printed textiles. So it's sort of a bit of everything. I suppose internally I always knew I wanted to be a designer. Externally I just did whatever I could to make that happen.
Wow, that's just a wonderful, and it's a very inspirational story as well. So what are the sort of things you're going to be looking for with our students' entries this year? Because obviously, again, it's been quite a difficult year.
I believe that creativity will save us all. So I want the students to absolutely show their creativity, inspire me, have great projects across multiple categories. I want to see their workings, I want to see sketchbooks, I want to see thumbnails. I want to see a start, middle and end to a project, because it's always great to know how you thought about the first concept. I want to get inside your head. I want to know how you progressed it, and then your final outcomes are always so important. But the bits that I love are just how you got to that incredible idea in the first place.
What is your message to students? Because every time when I speak to them, they always say, oh, you know, what sort of things should I put forward? And will they understand that it's been quite a difficult year? What would you say to students thinking about entering, and indeed the ones who get through and they become our finalists?
Even in the difficult times, carry on doing projects and just going out and sort of listening to webinars or just seeing stuff. Everything inspires me. This is a perfect opportunity to look at other people's work online, see how you benchmark against theirs, and also just enter, because why not? If you've got stuff that's brilliant and you want to show off and you want to show your work, then hell, this is a moment to do that. There's nothing to lose, really. And then you'll have someone like myself looking at your work. I hopefully will get the chance to give feedback and actually just inspire you to actually become into our wonderful creative industries, because there's no other industry like it.
And how important is Fashanne to the industry as well as to students, do you believe?
The work that comes in is of a great standard, and I think where other stuff is quite tricky to get into, I think Fashanne is great because it's very democratic, and you just get to see such a wide range of incredible work. And it's great that you've even got some northern colleges actually coming on board now, which is fantastic. And even online, because I'm much rather seeing the students and meeting people in the flesh. It's something that I've really missed. So online. Next year, hopefully we can meet again.
What do you think are the main drivers really for students to enter, the benefits of Fashanne?
I think one of the benefits is definitely being able to get a placement or work experience within companies. It's so important just to have that bit in your portfolio that offers you or that you can say on your CV that you have worked at this place. And also, quite often when you have worked within industry and worked with a company, they love you and they want to employ you. And you know, there's nothing better when you find a graduate that's absolutely smashing, to have them come and work with you on a work placement and then take them on at the end. There's nothing like that. And I suppose the biggest lesson is, out of all of this, no one's going to come and find you unless you show your work and unless you're out there. And this is one of the phenomenal things about Fashanne, is that you can actually get a placement in industry, and someone like me may see you and want to employ you full time.